This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your live daily market recap for Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. If you're watching this on a replay, I'm hitting start now. Go to the 6-minute mark approximately, and I'm going to let a few people kind of roll in. If I can get a mic check, 1 2 1 2, I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully you're having a good day. Feels like the checks are in the mail. Paper Hands, what's up, bro? Good to see you here, man. You know, speaking of thinking about certain people and how they're handling the market, how things are changing, I mean, I don't know if you feel different about how your trades have gone, but I'm really excited and proud for you because I know people have to admit when they're wrong and losing or things aren't right. I mean, I've been there. Having the ability to admit you don't know what you don't know, or you have blind spots, or something's wrong, and to actually do things differently and commit, it pays off. It absolutely pays off. It's paid off for me, and I hope it pays off for the others. Again, if you're newer to the channel, link is in the description below. I appreciate all the support. Got a few nice donations today. If that was you, you're in my thoughts. Again, let me know. DM me in the Discord room. I like to chat with people who donate because then what I can do is typically, I don't know. I just like to follow up and see what has led to your success, why you donated, what do you feel like you've gotten out of the channel, because there's a ton of content in the Back to Basics series. There's a lot going on. I mean, you guys know, the followers hanging out. So, I'm going to preface this. If at any point during the live stream, please stick around. If I get a phone call from the builder, we have a contract on our property closing in 3 weeks. There's some loan issues. And if they make a phone call and they call me, I'm going to answer it. I promise it won't take more than a couple minutes, but I will pause it. But I'm not going to end the stream. I feel like it's not worth restarting it all to jump back in. I'll let you know if I get the phone call too. But at this point, I hope they give me a call, but maybe they don't need to. So, oh man. One of those days, I really think the hardest part about trading is feeling like you're alone. And I think some of the people are starting to realize that. Like, it's really hard to be bullish at the lows. It's really hard to be bearish at the highs. But you start to feel what I would consider comfortable knowing that 90% of traders lose, and the market in itself is made to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. So winning is actually kind of a lonely feeling. That's why I love the board, love the room. Again, people can help me with my blind spots. I can help you with your blind spots. We can talk about this stuff. Ultimately, the hardest thing is when newer traders come into the room, they've got all of these mechanisms. And if Curran's in here, I mean, I spent some time with him and some of the others too, but you got a lot of noise. I personally am an A-type. I can analyze a lot of things. I'm very good at playing poker, Catan, games like that. Love that. But in the market, if you have 100 things you're analyzing and there's tons of money on the line, this isn't like your local poker game you're playing for a couple $100, $20. No, you've got maybe multiple six figures, maybe millions on the line. And if you got way too much crap going on, I'm telling you, it is hard. It is hard to get comfortable because I see it all the time. People are like, "Oh, did you see this with this particular option thingy?" And like gamma squeeze or option action. I'm like, listen, I've studied everything that you've probably done, and I have found that it did not give me a one-up edge. And a lot of people are like, whoa, but I've won money. And it's like, simplicity sometimes is easier. And a lot of people just don't see that. They just don't. And again, it's hard to trust the unknown. Like, imagine me being, I always say, peel the onion, and then you see who's going to cry. I had to peel off a lot of onion layers. And there was a lot of crying to get to where I got to, because it was like, no, but this worked sometimes. And it felt real comfortable when it was right. And it was like, and then you just pull it off. You're like, oh, all right, well, you don't even think about it after you start winning again, so. Man, layering in, layering out. People just really struggle with that crap. I always tell people, I'd rather get in at the right prices and be patient than trying to nail the exact time something's going to happen. Because, I mean, by the time you hit something and expect it to be one touch, it's very rare. Very rare. And to understand that, like, hey, I'd rather be in at the lows and patient than buying like near dated calls and hope that it happens when I want it to. That's an ego thing, folks. Trust me, I had to drop that too. Like, I know the market's going to here. I know it's going to there. I know it's going to hold this level. But it didn't happen the day I think. The week I thought. Maybe even the month. Maybe I had a retest. You'll see that. I mean, again, if you are a progression of trader, you will understand all of this very shortly. Timing is by far the hardest thing. We can identify the levels. It's just how long do we have to marinate and soak it up. And how many times you get to add and layer in. Sometimes I don't get the full trade because I don't get the layers. All right, I'm going to do my intro here. And again, I apologize if I have to take a phone call, but please don't leave. All right. Let me get this started here in a second. Dismiss. Close it out. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. Hopefully you're having a great day. Hope people have been safe in the market. Been pretty confusing for the average person, which usually confusion leads to what? An inflection point and a change. If you're newer to the channel, check out the Discord room. A link is in the description below. If you have more questions, please feel free to hit me up. I appreciate everybody who is following and supporting. Had some really nice donations today. If you are donating, please hit me up in direct message. I'd like to ask you for your feedback in that. What do you think has been the best thing to help you grow as a trader? Because there's a lot of people making a lot of money, which is a good thing. That's the whole purpose of trading. But hopefully the edges that you're developing are really simple so that when you do win over time, it's consistent. Again, we're not trying to be flash in the pants, win once, get out of the market and be happy. That's never the goal. The goal is to be successful long term, no matter what kind of market. Like, that's real knowledge, right? That's real mastery. Let's get into it. Oil, goodbye. Now, I'm not as excited about it because I'm not short it. But if anybody's been following the channel, I have said multiple times, I think it's going to $65, $70 a barrel. Check every day's post. If you don't believe me, it's fine. Talked about the lower high, talked about demand destruction, talked about hitting the 100 level, chopping around. And this is the thing. Let me get on to a little rant here. The Feds are going to celebrate next week when the CPI comes out lower. They are thankful the dollar has gone higher. It has de facto tightened up the market and allowed them to not have to raise rates as quickly. Keep that in mind. I think a lot of people were like, whoa, this, and that. And it's like, whoa. You got to look at the market as a whole. And we're going to talk about it. But lower oil is part of the things that we talked about that would potentially bring the bond market to a bottom. Bond yields go lower. And the market actually pop for a week or two, 3. Maybe, I mean, again, we don't know for sure. But again, the seasonality is usually pretty crappy. But at some point, oil dropping will also be a bearish thing. Rates will go significantly lower, but think about, again, I'll show you guys on the monthly charts. We'll look at 2008 again. But keep that in mind. Oil, this has got to be exciting for the market. Like, the market is going to get, especially in the oversold condition like the market is, S&P dropping 40 handles pretty quickly. It's going to find a reason to bounce, especially going into OPEX. If you saw the position put call ratios, everybody's bearish. Go check the news. I mean, yesterday's little blackout news, everyone's like, the world's gonna end. And it's like, okay, interesting takes. Where are my charts? That's not it. That is not it. Maybe this is gonna update. There we go. Bitcoin. Yeah, if you got questions, save it for the end. If people are like, who are you talking to? I am actually recording this live, but also recording it so that other people can watch it with a shorter version, because at the end there will be topics and conversations. So, checking out Bitcoin, what have we said? Breaking this channel, not bullish. Breaking below this area would be bearish. Because right now, this is what we talk about, timing. Imagine wading through all of this. And this is what can happen in trading. You might have to wait weeks or months for something to line up. And that's why I tell them, like, try to give time as your friend. Now, the market's a little different than Bitcoin, maybe gold, silver, some of this other stuff that we like long-term potentially. Again, I don't know who the digital currency winner is, but I look at this chart and I go, have a stop if you're long. If you're a bear, don't let it get back above certain levels. I mean, ideally, I would say probably somewhere at 21,000, you would start to be nervous because that's somewhere in this area, right where my mouse is pointing. At this point, let's not beat a dead horse. I think it's just kind of stuck. And I know people don't want to hear that about Bitcoin, but I mean, it's the same thing with gold. Every time I ask the question, what do you think about gold and Bitcoin? Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Dollar. All right. The dollar did what today? And this is why I got even more bullish. People were like, no, with the market. I'm like, look at the evidence. Yesterday you had a doji. Close enough for government work to the channel high, right? Look at this engulfing bar. What did I say days ago? Go check out the monthly. We are breaking over the 29 range. If I'm a bull, dollar, listen to this, I don't mind the retest of the breakout because that's how you shake out weak hands before you go higher. Either way, what is the short-term thought process to be bullish the market? Well, here's one. The dollar. Does it not look like it's topped? Let me show you the daily again. Do not ignore this. When you see a doji gap, an engulfing bar, I mean, at worst, 29 area. At worst. Hopefully, again, we're going to build again, people always like, oh, we're talking, they're emotionally coming to the Discord room. There's no emotion to this. This is all about evidence-based, okay? If you can't take emotions out of trading, get the heck out of trading. Just telling you. TLT. We talked about what happens when it gets back to the low. What did I say yesterday? Watch out for the novice gap. Look at today's action. We gapped up and closed over yesterday's highs into the gap. Now, is this 100% bullish? I mean, technically, it's looking that way, right? And again, it looks like a double bottom. Now, remember, people are always like, double bottom has to be perfect. No, I hate when people put exactness into a market that's not rational and functions in a way that's efficient. It's not always efficient. The market doesn't go to point A, point B, point B, point B. No, it goes where it wants to go. And so seeing this action of a novice gap with a gap up and close over the highs, pretend this was a green candle. It would stretch all the way down here, and it would look like an engulfing bar. Not bearish. Okay, so now you got the dollar coming down, bond yields coming down, right? The VIX. What did we say? What did we say? Watch the 27 range. Couldn't get over. It said probably coming back down to 23. Maybe it even fills the stupid gap at 20. Okay, another thing that makes it look bullish, market. The Vixen. Said the same thing. Watch what happens up here. Long wick closed right back at the range highs. Closes down. Do you see how the evidence is building here? All right, let's get into the SPY. What did we say? What did we say? The point of control was probably between 395, 390, right? You got down to 388. Game over. No, look to the left. Look at the volume at price node here, right? Look at it. Look at it. It was also the 0.618. Oh, but you got in early if you got in at 390. Close enough for government work. Again, when we went from short here, remember we expected this bounce, added hard, took profits. Now I'm more long than I am short. By a lot now. Because why? We had multiple tests. This action, to me, is not game over. It looks very reminiscent of what? Chop before a pop. Chop before a pop. I don't know if it's that sloppy choppy, but same thing. Right? Here you go. Chop before a couple day pop. If you can't use the past as a measuring stick for the future, then why even look at the charts? I mean, if you're staring at the daily, like staring at the paint dry on the current day's candles and 10 minutes and hourly, you are wasting your effing time. The past is your friend. Or play and predict the next candle. I love that game. And so now what? You look at this. What does this look like? This looks like a choppy, sloppy, higher, low, higher, I mean, a lower high probably coming. People are like, what's your levels? All right, well, first one's like 405. Next one, around 410. If it gets to 409, don't go, oh. No, the higher this goes, if you were bullish, because we still anticipate it's a bear market, right? But guess what? In bear markets, you get rallies. Like, look at this. People are like, oh, it has to go down every day. And I'm like, what planet are you folks on to think that any market goes in one direction every day? Like, that just shows to me instantaneously, like, all right, well, you're a novice. Or you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, essentially it's the same thing. But point being is, what did we say? The first drop was like, it's just a pullback. Second drop is what? Oh, it's just a 20% correction. The third wave is going to be, hopefully, for the bears, the slaughter. Get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. Beat this market down so that we can start a new bull market versus months of rebuilding and basing and trading. I mean, again, if it gets to that point, there will be times where we miss moves. I promise you, because I'm not going to sit around and watch all this crap all the time. QQQ. What did we do? We hit like this point of control, the 290s. Yesterday, look at this action. You're engulfing yesterday's action. You're back up into it. Is anybody not clear on why we're bullish near term? Let me ask this question, because if it's not obvious, I don't know what you're looking at. Like, you might be looking at some sort of dark pool or option game or whatever. You're making it way harder than it is. I don't need that crap. I used to have all that stuff. Oh, where's the RSI and the MACD, and where are all your stochastics, and where are all of your other indicators? Don't need them. I don't need them. And so at this point with the Qs, what's your upside? Well, the first resistance zone is going to be 305. If I had to take a guess, and again, I had to take a guess, that's what we do here. It's probably going to be somewhere up here where this old trend line was, 309. Not a bad move if you're catching some of these tech names down here. They're going to move 10%. Would you take a 10% move waiting for the next bear move down? I'll do it. Yeah, why not? I'll take 5%. I don't care. Just trying to build brick. I'm putting bricks. I'm stacking bricks. That's all I want. Bigger bricks for the bigger house, the bear house. IWM. Held the 180s, and we engulfed up. Probably going to 188, 190. Minimum. Here you go. Here's what I'm talking about. Look at this volume at price zone. But Dan, did you read the headlines? Yeah, I read them. Did you see that there's a margin call in Europe? Yeah. Did you see this and that? Yeah, but did you see today's price action? I don't give it. You know what you saw. This is what I'm seeing. And when I see bearish news go green, that's the market makers getting you to sell the lows. That's the market maker about to spin you on your head. Just like up here. Oh, it's the next bull market. Goodbye. Oh, it's the next bear market leg. Pop. I don't know why I'm doing fart sounds, but that's what it just seems like. You get crapped on when you don't know what you're doing. GLD. What did we say yesterday? It probably bounces. Woohoo! Cool. Please leave it alone. Please, 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 please leave it alone. I know it's a double bottom. I get it. I know it's at the 0.618 or 0.382 on the monthly. It's a big cup and handle. Seasonally, this is not the time for gold. Does it pop and someone goes, you missed the move? Well, I probably was doing other things. I've traded gold my whole life. It is incredibly frustrating. The best time to buy it is not in September. Not saying it can't rally, but when the Feds pivot and we capitulate, when I say capitulate, a VIX over 50, gold baby goes out with the bathwater. Just if you don't know, you don't know, and keep this in mind. If I am a long-term bull, and I know the market, and I know the market maker loves to play games, what is the obvious way to unlock inventory? Break the damn bottom. You break the damn bottom, what happens? Everybody who bought since 2021 of February and March goes, and then you think about, well, maybe all these people who bought it, what? Post-COVID, they puke. That's where they get the inventory. Just like at the highs on the Ukraine news, they unloaded. Look at the inventory. Green candle, Dan. Yeah, look what followed. That's market maker distribution. I want to see some sort of volume at the lows to confirm the market makers have done what? Shaking out the never-ending bullish crap that you read. Trust me, I've been in that. I've been in like gold. I remember getting in some silver stuff in 2013. We're like, oh, what's going on? Everything's bullish. Everything's bullish. Everything's bullish. Gone. Silver. If you don't know anything about silver, just remember, it is an absolute terror to trade. When it's not bullish, it is crap. And I don't see it bullish. People go, whoa, Dan, the prices are low. Whoa. Like Joey, whoa. No, look at the flush from COVID. Bam. Look at the flush here in 2008. I mean, it went from 20 down to 8. Did that make sense? Nope. Throw the silver baby out with the bathwater. Silver surfer is not surfing. His surfboard turned into a jetpack into the ocean to sink. No, I mean, that's just the reality of it. GDX. People are like, oh, I'm buying miners. Cool story, bro. Yeah, I know it's going to probably bounce if the market does. It's just making lower lows. And I mean, it looks like junk. Cool. Glad it bounces. I mean, the people who bought it were like, I have to buy it. Got to get my money back from gold. It stole it from me for many years. It's like, that's what the market makers do. You guys going to riot when Bed Bath & Beyond doesn't come back and GameStop and all these turd stocks go to zero? No. Should be shorting those things. Duh. The apes. More like monkey brain. Yeah, I mean, I like GDXJ way better long term when it's time to buy. But just don't get caught in this action, because look at last year. I still remember how like incredibly frustrating this was. And it was like, oh, it's good. All conditions are good. It's good. And then it goes. Talking about being early and having patience? If you're buying the metals, you might want to disappear for like minimum of 6 to 12 weeks. Just don't even look at the account. Don't even come to the channel. Don't even trade. Just pray and hope you're going to be okay. AG. Sweet bounce, bro. AEM. Now, this one gets me excited because what? It has volume. Volume at the lows. Making a higher low. We'll see. Patience. Set your alarm. Under 40. Newmont. Cool story. Don't buy it. End of story. Again, you don't want to buy the mega cap gold miners this next bull run, because why? These are the guys that are going to be buying Junior. That's right, Junior. Right. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Anyway, just don't buy Newmont. Buy any junior, not any actually. Don't buy the penny stock juniors because they're crap. Buy just the GDXJ. Buy the Silge for silver. That's the junior silver. PAAS. I mean, I like this company. I don't think they're doing anything wrong, but I don't like this action. I mean, this thing can get flushed. I mean, it's sadly a polished silver turd. That's the best way to describe it. And at some point, I will try to reach out of the toilet. I will try to reach into the toilet and grab it, because it is, I think, has value. But not yet. Just not yet. And these analogies might be a little off-putting, but you get the point. Hopefully. Am I talking to myself? I'm not seeing many comments, but that's just the reality of it. Let's get into some of the material names. Letter X. X gonna give it to you. This is going to be one of the next bull market winners. Just ain't ready yet. Leave it alone. I mean, we talked about probably holds the 50-day. The market bounces. Watch it come right back at 25. If you don't know letter X, it is a choppy, sloppy, beautiful woman. But when she starts drinking, she gets a little crazy. And point being, probably going to get a little crazy here. But it's going to be confusing. She's going to change her mind, and then she's going to go right back down. Meaning she's going to probably leave you stranded. Nucor, another one. Put it on your long-term list. I think it pops back up here, holding the 100-day. You're going to notice a theme in all these stocks, just bouncing back with the market. Again, I still want to buy tech, because if the dollar goes lower, bond yields go lower, people always what? Buy tech. Because it is a tech bull market going into bear. That story won't end as quickly. VALE, yeah, touched the gap, bounced today. Scott, if you're here, Scott Bottom, Scotty B, Scotty Bottom, filled the gap, but do you trust it? I mean, when the S&P 500 is at 397 and you think it probably could get cut in half from here, do you want to buy this? I mean, when the CPI gets over 5%, you've always had a recession. I mean, what was the max CPI? 9%? No recession. Okay, got it. Thanks. Thanks for doing your homework and telling me I'm wrong. Can y'all hear me? I usually get a lot of comments. Anybody there? Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. This. I'm just gonna keep going then. But I would love a comment if someone's there. Cool. Take notes. I mean, that's what I appreciate. If you're not talking, take notes. Good. Take notes. CCJ. Again, who doesn't like uranium's long-term story? It makes sense, right? Oh, man, was I on the monthly the whole time? Man, why didn't y'all say that? I was looking up. I apologize. Let me go run back to X real quick. X, gonna chop you out. Go back to the 200-day. Somebody got to tell me that. See, I'm sleeping because I got 8 screens. I'm trying to look at all of them going ding, 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 bouncing around. Head hurts. Oh, you guys are funny. Choppy. Again, she's just... you want to marry her, but she needs to, like, take her meds. Let X calm down. Nucor or him, whatever your game is. Here you go. Hold the 200-day, gonna bounce. VALE. Again, I mean, I just cannot. I can't buy this stock when the market has so much downside. Down. Get down again. Doesn't look good. All right, back to CCJ. My bad. Man, you guys got to yell at me every once in a while. Don't be scared. All right. Who doesn't love uranium, right? Even Elon's out there pumping it. But does anyone remember 2008 uranium story? Because I do. Same thing with oil. Gah! Bam. What's the downside in uranium? I don't know. But can we all just agree, if we're in this room and you're listening, DM me when you see the same 20, special folks who just pump uranium every day. If the day ends in Y of the week, it's a buy. Those guys have got to get blown out. And all their followers. Now we're up here against the highs. I'm not shorting it. I liked the short yesterday, but now today's action, it bounces back on lighter volume. I mean, again, oil, gas, all this stuff. I told you guys it eventually goes lower, but then you're like, oh, why didn't you short it? And it's like, because I think the thesis is it goes lower near term, the stuff pops. The downside might be limited. Because again, August, September, October, what season is it? And if someone says football season, yes, you are correct. But there's another season that goes on with oil and gas in the United States during this time of year. Does anyone have a guess? Anyone else have a guess on what season it is for oil and gas? That can be rather tricky. Says a lot about your knowledge of oil and gas. If you know this, it should be like, bing, got it. Bear? No, it's not what we're looking for. Zach, nice try though. People at home watching the recording. Build season? Hurricane, thank you. Yes. Hurricane, Edward Scissor, 40 hands, hurricane hands, whatever the game is. It's off-peak season and it's hurricane season. I mean, unless you want to be staring at the every night checking out the weather off of what is it, East India or East Africa, that can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, every little storm system that rolls off of Africa, is it gonna be a hurricane? I mean, dude, I used to do that. It's you probably have full Discord rooms on this crap, I bet. Anyway, back to CCJ. Long term. Put this in your basket of long-term buys. We not agree? Like, this goes in the basket, right? We just don't, again, like, we're making a checklist, right? We're looking into the future, and this is the kind of stock we want to buy. All the other uranium names, I don't know enough about their balance sheets. I don't know enough about them that I don't trust the penny crappy ones. I will stick to the big dog. Arrow, Copper. Put this on your checklist. Probably goes below 8, knocks everybody out, then goes higher. Are we clear? Clear as day. Clear as mud. Clear as mud, Cletus. How you doing? Mosaic, here you go, holding the 200-day. Cool. Awesome. At this point, we like agriculture. People got to eat. I don't want to say the terms that I'm thinking, but this dog got to eat. You know, like from if y'all watch Hard Knocks, love that show. Again, it's locker room talk, but it's great. I mean, it's people being there honest. Again, as someone who played sports growing up, comedy and just being real is always fun in the locker room. People who are very offended by that stuff, again, situational. Like, how do you feel under deep emotions and winning? I guess I don't really get that with trading, but beating someone in sports, I do. This is a tough one. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to trade Mosaic? I don't know. Because again, I want to get the tech. CF. Whoever shorted this, again, I'm still waiting. What do we say? Watch the levels. Look at that. Doink. Bounce. How high? I don't know. Put this on your list. I mean, I don't usually talk about NTR because it's just like redundant. Is it not the same kind of thing? Potash, agriculture. Probably going to bounce. And then put it in your basket. Put the lotion in the basket. No, you get what I'm saying. Let's get into tech and let's start moving through this. I always start with AMD. New friend to the message board, Trade for Life, was like, AMD stinks. And I'm like, agree. But look what it did. Wick below, comes right back. I mean, you know, you can't really quantify oversold and overbought, you know, in a level of what I would say is an exact science. I didn't realize all these people are going to be talking on the Discord room. But when you think about it, what do you know for a fact? I mean, this is oversold. I mean, it's probably going to bounce. Put the 89, 90 level. If you bought it today under this in the 78, 77, cool. I think you got to bounce here because I mean it's all in the same. SMH. What did Dan say? Watch the levels. I mean, again, as the market was making what seemed like lows, SMH high and tight. Not really high, but you know, low and tight. There it goes. Let's close over the highs. We'll see. I mean, remember, that candle to me is stronger than all of these because this was a gap down and somebody caught. You know, think about like someone's shooting a water hose. Somebody had the ability to like clog that stop and just plug the hole. Now you retest, timing wise, timing always hard. Timing. Retest, looks like a bounce. I'm on the monthly. Man, this is brutal. I want to trash this video and start over. Thank you. Where was I? Oh my God. Thank you, James. I swear to God, I did not eat an edible or been drinking. It's just you guys don't know how many screens I got rolling here. It's like I'm sitting in like the paradise for watching sports. If I had like 8 games on. Where did I start the monthly? It doesn't even matter. Don't buy materials. I think we should just go right to AMD. Thank you, James. Thank you. I mean, again, if you see that, hit me up. If I'm talking daily and you see monthly, please, I'll send you $1. Remind me later. Here you go. Doji now makes a little lower low, comes right back. SMH. Thank you for asking, because this is honestly one of the more important charts you need to look for bullishness. That doji, look at the volume here. That was the day that AMD, or not AMD, but NVIDIA was like, we suck. Close at the highs. Oh, made a higher high, higher low. Oh, it comes right back. Now you make another higher low. Close back near the highs. I apologize if I was on the monthly. I need to, hold on. I know how to fix that. There we go. I can't mess that up now. Whew. Caught myself. So does the SMH look bullish to y'all? This is why it's one of my biggest holdings. I mean, we started buying last week. Oh, you're early, Dan. Yeah, we're usually early. I mean, you want to see it just turn into that V, but you get your retest. Cool. And now today, You could have bought yesterday. I mean, literally, like shopping in the grocery store. Like, I want a little bit of this, and I want a little of that. And I want a little bit of options on this, and I want a little Soxel here, and I want a little bit of SMH calls. Yeah, that's how it went. Usually don't talk about NVIDIA, but I think I said it. You say it 3 times, you got to talk about it. What did you do today? Oh, Jesus. Jesus can't help you draw. This is so demoralizing. Again, I'm out till 3 in the morning playing poker in the neighborhood. Maybe that's why I'm don't drink, don't smoke or anything, just hang out. I held 133. I guess today's div. Wow, a monster dividend. Hope you got that 4 cents, homie. Does it look like it's like imagine a wave cresting. Is it about to bounce? I mean, would you be mad if you bought this at 135 and took it to 150 to fill the gap? I mean, do you like 10%? I like 10%. Do you like 10%? I like 10%. Micron. Here you go. Kind of looks like the SMH holding higher lows. Nike swoosh. It does look like a Nike swoosh. I agree. They all look pretty good. I mean, again, I don't ever chart Soxel because it's just crap. But if the SMH is in play and you're buying it down here in the 12s and it looks like the SMH is going to go to, what do we say, 220, 220s, get you back to 15, 16 quickly. I mean, 12 to 15. Right, here you go, 220s. 12 to 15, is that not bad? Do you like 20%? I mean, might make my week. I'm not going to complain. Let's get into the tech names. Apple. All right. This video has to be long, and you guys just have to understand this stuff. This is just not common sense. Usually what? Apple sells off during its event. You're already at the lows. The price action was holding low all day. Tons and tons of options players. People buying puts, people buying calls. Notice how it literally got stuck until what, like the last hour? And then went zip. The options makers collected premiums. You made a retest of the low. You didn't even get the 100-day. But you're holding the point of control here. Here you go, cresting. People are like, you're crazy for buying Apple. I'm like, how is this hard? What is this? Like, what are you missing here? How high? I mean, how high? Maybe it fills the gap. Maybe the 200. I've said 161 to 163. If you're on the Discord room, you've heard me say it over and over and over. Seems likely. Nothing goes down in a straight line. Like, go look at the past. I hate to, waste your time, but, I mean, remember these moves right here? 153 up to 166 in 3 days? This move, 155 up to 166, 11 points. How about this move? 163 up to 171. It's there. It is absolutely there. Maybe it does this kind of crap. Oh, but you don't want to buy Apple because it's a bear market. Well, you don't know how to trade a bear market. If I'm wrong, people will come out of the woodworks. But do you not see the probabilities are in our favor? Bearishness, insane. Everyone's bearish now. Love it. Microsoft. Here's my next biggest name trade. I've got 3 longs with my shorts that I'm holding long term. SMH and Soxel. Microsoft and Apple. Really that simple. I'm just going to stick to the big dog tech. Look at that yesterday. Then look at today. Does that look bearish to you? Probably not. When's the last time could it do 270 up to 290? Again, do you take 20 points? Because I think it can get back up to the 267. And if you bought it in the 250s, 15 points. Again, because I'm trading options with this, so I want the puntos. That's about all I got. Amazon, somebody today was like, oh, it's acting like junk. And it's like, as the day went on, it just built. Holds the point of control. Because again, I don't know what these folks are talking about in the Discord room. Because again, the beginner room is usually a room that I look at to just kind of gauge what's not going to happen. Oh, Amazon looks so bad. And then I look at it at the end of the day, I'm like, what? I mean, I see a higher low and I see it closed back at the recent range highs. Bearish, not so much. Not so fast. Google. Holds trend. Holds range. Is this bearish? I mean, do you guys see how, like, this isn't an opinion game. Meta. Bueller. Again, even crappy Meta. I mean, I think, didn't they get another lawsuit against them? Closes at the high. Technically bullish. Tesla. As much as I think Tesla's going to the dirt, we said double bottom. Probably gets up to what, the 280s, 290s? I mean, maybe it gets up high. I don't know. Things that you don't see if the market's about to tank. But when everyone's talking about the market's going to tank and it does this, you got to be on red alert that you're in a trap. You have to acknowledge that you are a target. If you don't know it, again, it's like if you don't know who the sucker is at the poker table, it's you. Roblox. Same thing. Makes a little lower, boom. This should be so boring and easy, and I love looking at it because it just makes me realize, like, tomorrow when the market's down $1 or your stock rolls down $1, you're not going, oh, it's over. It's over, Dan. No. Netflix holds the 50-day, makes a higher low, eats it up. Do I need to say any more with tech? Are we good? NDAQ, someone asked me about that. Hey, you hit some of your upside targets. You want to reshort? I can't. If I think the market's going to go higher, shorting here just seems like what? I'm going to be early. And again, I hate being early, but I'd rather not. I mean, do you want to watch the movie previews for 3 hours? Like, that's what it could be, 3 days. I mean, maybe it gets up to 63. Maybe it fills the gap. I don't know. Would I take this kind of retesting? Sure. Shorting is suicide right now. I mean, that's what the market's always betting on. Suicides. It's betting on you and I at some point are going to suicide. And when I say this, I hope Google doesn't go, oh, you can't talk about that. No, I'm talking about actual traders blowing up. That's what I mean. Things you don't see when the market's bearish. What did we talk about? Watch the EXPI. Does this candle look bearish? No. 290. So 290 area. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, I'm beating a dead horse here, but if the evidence ain't obvious to you, then it must be like, you must not be wearing glasses. Even crappy EXPI bouncing. UTHR. Told you, take the profits. You better run. Now it's just going to chop out. The big move is over. Maybe it could break out. Again, watch the trend line, the 50-day. I don't know. I don't trust it. I do like certain biotechs at certain times, but not now. Not now other than playing the index. Because then you can't lose if somebody does something stupid or they don't get a phase 3 trial fails or I don't know. Let's end it with oil and gas. Then we'll go into the free-for-all of just chatting. Oh, breakdown. Go ahead and give it to me. Breakdown. Tom Petty. Trying to sing. Not good at all. I don't have a voice. Not good. And again, I don't even necessarily... This is the thing. If everyone's expecting oil to waterfall near term, what is it probably going to do? It probably bounces back to this area at some point. If you want to now use the 70 area as a short, now it is clear as day. This is the area. Tight stops, easy shorts. Put your pants on, put your pants off. UNG, somebody help me. Because we talked about this. Look above and fail. Back down, 150 day. Remember, now what? Again, natural gas, little tricky. But you see the 30 handle? I don't even want to... I would just stick to oil. But because gas just seems to be like green-ish. Anyway, XOP. Here's what's hard about shorting the exploration names. When the market does green things, this will hold up. Because imagine if there's a blood red day in the XOP or USO, whatever, oil's down, whatever percent it was today, 5, 6%. Was it down more? I can't remember. Point being, this would be like a big blood red candle. And again, wait to short the stuff. We'll end it on ExxonMobil. Where are you, Exxon? Did I delete? No. Check this out. Again, green candle. How does oil go down and these names go up? Because they get bought. Thank you, friend. Down 6%. All right. Please, again, if you're new to this channel, link is in the description below in the Discord room. Stop by. I don't really like arguing with novices, but if you're a novice, be a sponge. I don't come to you for advice and tell you how to do anything. If I really think you know what you're talking about, I'm just going to listen. Again, the person with the power is usually listening. If you want to gain power and you want to soak it up, don't try to fight people trying to help you. Anyway, again, remember the long-term goal, 10 properties in 10 years. That's the goal. We got to get paid to not work. And then you can trade even more for fun. Check it out, danmaxrealty.com. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to stop the recording and open the mic up. Let's talk. What's up? What do we got? Who's got a meme stock? No, I'm just kidding. Who actually has a legitimate question? Because again, I mean, I forgot the freaking financials. Let's do them. Look at the financials. Holding the range lows. Morgan Stanley. Holding the lows. JP Morgan Chase, the junkiest, holding the lows. ENPF. It's a solar company. I wonder if it shot up due today via the blackouts. I mean, I'm not going to say I have not looked at ENPH stock, James. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it's a headline and this thing has already been up, I would be willing to bet it's probably near the top. Okay. Interesting. Let's do some drawing. Okay, this thing has been on a monster ascent. Dangerous. If you're a bull. I mean, how do you want to draw this? It's your guess. I'm going to draw it like that. Danger. Now, again, you want to see the breakout, right? Like, that technically would be a technical breakout, right? No one would argue that. I just hate when things break out on, again, because this, what's the best way to describe this? The stock goes from 123 up to 316. Could this be a bull trap? That's what I'd be worried about. Again, I don't know anything about their business. Just looking at the chart, is it breaking out with volume? Technically, yeah. Technically, yes. Would I buy it here? That to me seems like a chase. I don't chase. Now, do you want to like put this in your basket for a pullback? Yeah, sure, whatever. No one's going to argue that. But by the time that this happens, you got to be thinking like, who has more to lose here? The Bulls or the Bears? Now, again, if it's a buyout target, I don't know. I don't have time to look at the financials. That, to me, James, is something that, thinking about grabbing puts, you read my mind. That's all. CRM. Oh, my bad, Ting. Dude, I stayed up way too late last night playing poker. I grinded my way out to a break even. It was so frustrating. Every time I had like the nuts, somebody would turn and something in the river and it got way sneaky. And I was celebrating not getting murdered. It was one of those nights in poker. Again, yeah, you're retesting the lows. You retest the lows and you close over it. Looks like all the other techs. That's all I got on that one. I mean, I remember, y'all, if anyone remembers, I got stopped out of CRM and I gave up on it because it knocked me on my stops, and I literally sold in the low of the day at 50.87, 150.87, whatever day that was. Maybe it was 150.187. I can't remember. It just felt painful. But stopping out lows happens. David, J Powell talk tomorrow. Market dip. Miad calls for a good deal on Apple SPY. Then market go bada boom, bada boom. Goodbye, right? What if, I said this in the Discord room. What if Powell actually pretends like they're actually winning? They're doing a great job? Because they're going to be like, look at oil. Look at us. We started raising rates and inflation's coming down. We're not going to hopefully have to do it for too long. That's what you got to be worried about. It's like at some point, Jay Powell is a man that's been beaten and blamed for everything. When he actually looks like he's probably smart, he's going to be like, look at me, I was right. For the near term. That's my biggest concern. Like, I really have no clue. Because Jay Powell is what? It's noise. Temporary. Market's going to do what it's going to do. Does it dip? You buy calls? That's on you. Know your levels. At this point, JPAL is nothing. Now, there you go. SM. Tomorrow, ECB raises rates too. What do you think happens to oil and nat gas? That's more important, what the ECB does. Because if they raise rates and they push oil and gas down because of what? Naturally, just restriction of liquidity into the market, probably temporary, and the dollar goes even lower, market's going to go higher. JPAL, probably going to what? I mean, you have to think about, like, the market's rigged, y'all. Go look at the sentiment. And again, I'm not trying to be mean to folks, but the stupidest people are yelling bear. And I mean stupid, like, look at, like, the emotions behind it. They're not yelling. The same people weren't going, hey, do you remember shorting the SPY at 330? No. Now down in the two. Did I say no? Wow. You're not doing well today. 430. And now down here, they're going, the world's going to end. And then the price action doesn't follow. Again, trying to predict what's going to happen in oil and gas, you might need the magic 8 ball. You might need tarot cards. You might need to get your palm read. I struggle with it because I think it should go lower, demand destruction, because everybody's bullish. But it's one of those things. It's not cut and dry always. To me, it seems obvious to buy tech and to ride it up for a pop. Pop, 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 pop. What could take down tech? Maybe oil and gas pop later. You feel me? Because think about what the TLT is probably going to do here. And this is probably the worst recording ever. Again, I don't ever take notes. I just wing it. But this one is particularly bad. Usually they're pretty good, so I'm told. Remember the TLT before the spike in 2008? Here you go. It feels like that's going to happen. I mean, staying away from energy names, I think people don't really understand sometimes, like, my thinking. It's always wealth preservation first. If something is difficult, I don't know if I really want to try that, because then again, then what happens? I don't have convictions to know when to do, right? Like, does that make sense, SM? Because I think you're bringing up a really good point here. If the probabilities are not great, it's hard to have strong convictions to be able to withhold through the chop. Because that's the hardest part here. It's timing. It's never that the levels are wrong. Our levels are usually really good. But it's whether you can hold through it. I don't know if I could hold a short or a long at this point, oil and gas, and be like, I think I'm good. I have no clue. I have no clue what the headlines are going to be on oil and gas. That to me, you want to talk about mentally scrambled? I don't want to get there. Even though today I feel like it, but the market did exactly what I needed to do, so I don't care. That's how I feel about that subject. Like, that just gets really hard. Because again, think in mind, when in doubt, when the money's on the line and everything is up for grabs and you got to make a decision, if the probabilities don't seem that secure in your opinion, what are you going to do? Your emotions are going to take over and you're going to do whatever you think is best to preserve your mental state of mind. That's all I can. And that's a great question because, again, pretend it's not oil and gas. Pretend it's any name. Have you not been there in a trade that you did not really have conviction on and you're like, I don't know if I'm in the right area. I don't know if I'm going to be right on this. This feels wrong, but it should be right. And then what happens? The price action and the market makers play with your mind and you dump it and it goes later, or you hold on to it and it gets beaten because you're like, I think I should do this. These are great questions because this is the hardest part of trading. Change the ticker symbols. They don't really matter. You literally can change the ticker symbols to anything and that's what it is. Pretend this wasn't the TLT and this was the market. Would you not buy this probably? Novice gap, Closed at the lows, came right back, double bottom. That's all I can really say. I hope this helps. Again, any more questions? Because I think this is, until you've been beaten to a pulp like I have in every arena of the market and somehow survived. Think of this, people say sometimes I look like Sylvester Stallone, which I hate because I don't think he's a good looking guy. But that guy, I mean, you have to take a pounding to learn what is wrong, right? You know, I've probably got concussion syndrome. No, you know what I mean? Like, you have to learn from your lumps. And there's just certain things that, like, your mind is going to go, I remember that. I don't want to do that again. And until you get there, which I'm hoping you don't, you can just, again, people will look, hey, Dan, thank you. Learn from my mistakes. If you see me passionate about something, it's not because I'm like, have this ego that's that's like trying to be like, I'm right, you're wrong. It's more like, I genuinely care and I want you to succeed, and I don't want to see you make a mistake that I've made that put me back in a hole or put me in a position where I had a great year, great month, great week, whatever, and it's like, gone. Because that's actually how your confidence gets destroyed. People don't think like that. Like, you got to preserve your confidence. I mean, pretend you're playing golf. Golf is one of the hardest sports in the world, obviously. But the level of competition is separated by a pubic hair. Literally, these guys are all amazing. It's all mental at a certain point, right? Do we not agree? Like, think about the best golfers in the world. You put all 100 of them on a golf course and they're hanging out, playing, drinking beers. They will all probably shoot 62. But you put money online, you put them in a tournament, you put them on TV. Now some of them are shooting 75. And they can barely shoot 68, 65, some of them. Why? The pressure's on. The pressure to perform. That pressure has to be understood. So your mind has to be preserved above all else. I hope that helps. Does this help? Questions, thoughts, concerns? Because this is honestly the stuff that I get passionate about, because the charts to me are the easy part. I swear to God, the charts are easy once you just realize like your brain is the one that's screwing it up. And it's not a confidence like ego. It's just like, you know, maybe you do or don't. Remember the dating game? And you're like, that's a red flag. I won't date him or her. That person has problems. Nope, I'm gone. USO 3 gaps to a trap retest. The only thing about USO that's a little harder is because it trades all hours, right? So the gaps can be a little. I mean, 1 gap, 2 gap, 3 gap. I guess so. I mean, 1 gap, 2 gap, technically 3 gaps. I mean, the 3 gap trap is a strong move. Yes. Technically, I guess that's. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, let me just go back in the time machine real quick. I want to look on the daily from 2008. Because if I remember right, it was just a cascade of never-ending gaps. Where are we? What year? Here we go. Again, this is a great question. You got to ask, you got to remember, like, yeah. So you had 1 gap, 2 gap, 3. Again, it's interesting to compare the amplitude of gaps, right? Man, look at that. Pow. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, I don't know, man. Zach, you gotta. That's a tough one, my friend. I mean, this is the hardest part right now, is that I am not currently short oil, right? So I can't pretend like I'm shorting oil at 80 and have confidence. Or USO, right? I'm now below the highs. And if I get in, where is my stop going to be? That's always, like, again, you have to think about risk management. I mean, if you want to short it, right? You probably need a bounce. Bounce. You've got the reference. The 200-day is probably going to become impenetrable. It was once support. It caught up. Now you're on the backside. That's what I'd look for. Again, I wish I would have shorted up here and held on to it like we did. But this whole action was, it wasn't 2008, right? Like 2008 was waterfall. This is just a waste of time. This is a punch in the gut. You knock your breath out. Like, what are we doing? I can't get around that. I can't play. I hate this action. Hopefully that makes sense. Any other questions? Because these are great questions. Because again, if you think trading is all charts all the time, it's experience, it's psychological, the pressures of winning, handling of losses, knowing when to trade, knowing when not to trade, how to layer in, how to use options, how to not use options correctly, all of these things. Like trading is just not simple. Because there's times where you feel like you've won and you lost when you do the wrong things. We've all been there. Oh, I bought calls for a month out and it went nowhere. Happens. Oh, you did this. Didn't happen. Just trying to draw some lines, see if any of them line up. Great questions, though. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. Ah, man. I mean, again, this is the part of the teaching that I think until you can know this stuff and teach it to others, that's why I appreciate everyone who's coming to the Discord room, because at some point, people are teaching other people, which is great. And it's then when we lock the room up, it's not like there's arguments here. It's all reminders of risk management or, hey, have you seen this? Or did you see that? And what do you think of this? It's not, there shouldn't be like, oh, I'm bullish, you're bearish. And it's like not even close. They should be like, either you don't agree because we're neither party sure, or it's very obvious. People are like, oh, you're just trying to build an echo chamber and tell people how to trade. I'm like, no, I'm waiting for you guys to tell me what to do. That's when you know. Someone goes, hey, check out ABC stock. Yes? Great. Cool. I'm going to buy it. Here, let me throw you a tip. Thank you. You did all the work for me. You found it. That's going to happen. Any more questions? Can we get some special guest questions? Again, don't be scared to ask a question. The worst case scenario is I rip you because it means something. And if I don't rip you, then it doesn't matter. Again, all questions are equal. Because if you don't know for sure, you better ask. That's the one thing. It's like when I was learning and I didn't know, I didn't care if I'm annoying somebody. I'd rather know than to annoy. Like if that not knowing means I'm wrong and losing versus annoying them, don't care. Don't care. This is, if you were trading with significant amount of money, this isn't a play game. This isn't some sort of hope I get rich. Oh, only lost $100. Oh, I have a $2,000 account. Help me get rich. Like, no. We don't do that crap. And if you do have a $200 account, all right, well, then you got to be very, very careful. Man, look at that PXD. I saw that day, and I was like, take a short on it. Missed it. Any last questions? Forever hold your peace. May you go to bed comfortably. Let's pull up the ES futures real quick. Oh, look at that. Held the zone. Now, again, don't look at the volume because you'll be like, oh, there's only volume till now. Yes, it's the front month contract. If you're newer, I don't really look at the daily. But does this look a little oversold to you guys? Does that look a little bullish? Bullish. See my levels on the ES? It's kind of a vacuum gap, which is interesting, but it's the bottom of this range, and it's the top of these candles. What's up, cat? Vocal cat. Any last questions? Again, I'm offering my time and help. Like, don't ask questions. That's on you. But if you're sitting there itching to like, I don't know, ask it. Type it. Going for 10 seconds. I'm going to sip on the coffee and pet the cat. Hey, sweetheart. You're a good girl. You love your dad. I hope this is good teaching, because you're not going to get this kind of crap for free anywhere. I can guarantee that this channel is not like any other, because I've watched all the other ones. Because people are like, oh, if you're going to speak, you need to watch other people's channels. I'm like, they're all crap. That's why I was like, I got to start my own if I'm going to actually help people here. I mean, literally. I mean, again, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe someone can send me something to teach me. I don't know. I'm open-minded. One, two, three. All right. No questions. Please do not chase the market. If our friend David is correct that the market pulls back on Powell, you might get an opportunity. Note to self too. If you don't get long and you don't worry. Wait for the short setups. It's still a bear market. It's still a trader's market. I always tell people, like, what do you do if you miss a move, Dan? I miss a move. I do not chase it. Like, imagine being bullish and bearish and chasing. What happens? You get slapped down. You're not going to have confidence. You're not going to be at zones where the reward is worth the risk. Those are the things you always got to worry about. Always worry about what you can lose. If you focus on that kind of thought process and you believe in abundance, knowing that you will manifest great abundance if you minimize your losses, what happens? You are a winner over time. I guess, you could draw that so wide. All right. I'll talk to you guys and gals later. Pulling teeth here at this point. Be safe. Be smart. Be thoughtful. Be thoughtful of your own awareness. Be very thoughtful of your own awareness, because again, you are interpreting the market, and you are interpreting the evidence. Oh, here's a great question. How do you master not to panic? Wow. All right. First of all, panicking. Think about, let's take it to another game. Hey, David, what's your favorite sport? Or what's your favorite hobby? Because this is a great question. What is something that you enjoy doing that you're good at? Great question. Sorry, I'm going to keep this going because this is actually a very important topic. What you got, David? Sport is basketball. Awesome. Basketball is my favorite sport as well. Okay, so this is going to be cool analogies. When you first started playing basketball and you went out and played, you were nervous, right? You still get nervous, right? How do you not panic when the ball gets passed to you? You know what to do. You've practiced it. You're comfortable with the pressure. You are comfortable with the sport. You're comfortable with the game. You're comfortable with the fundamentals. When you overtrade, that's no different than dribbling around and not having a plan and just running around like an idiot, being that guy. And two, when it comes to like confidence, you really got to practice the heck out of it. Growing up, every single day, what did I do? I went out and shot 500 shots and dribbled for hours. So that when I got in the game, I wasn't thinking about how to dribble the basketball. Okay, so that's very clear, right? Practice, comfort, being used to what's going on, you will calm down. Next you have to do is learn how to freaking breathe. When you stop breathing because you are slightly panicked or anxious, your brain revs up all these chemicals and it creates a fight or flight dynamic. So think about it. When you are in a fight, your metabolism slows down and all the energy goes to your body to act. All the energy leaves literally your brain. That's what's happening. You're suffocating yourself when your breath starts to shorten because you are anxious. And your body's reaction is to panic. And when you panic, rational thinking goes out the freaking window. I could show you all this evidence and you go, I'm puking, blah, gone. That is the hard part. So learning, again, you have to learn how to breathe, practice. You just got to get comfortable. That's why I feel like my value sometimes to the Discord room is just making people feel comfortable. I'm that old guy at the gym who played pro basketball that looks probably very like, oh God, this guy's not good, or this guy's like, oh, whatever, he's old. Nah, dude, this guy can ball. Like, it's like Kyrie Irving when he was like the old guy. Like, the dude can ball because he's experienced. He knows exactly what to do. Put the position in. He's going to hit that shot from like that corner all day. He's going to make that pass right all day. He doesn't do a ton. He doesn't need to be the best trader of everything. That's what I'm trying to get people to focus on. Like, you don't have to do everything great. But pick your poison. I hate day trading. Because day trading is what? It's trying to gamble and predict every move of the market. There's 6.5 hours in the day. I got no time trying to predict all that. Because again, a trend can last 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. Don't care. I want to see where it opens and closes. That's the trend I'm worried about. This is a great question. Panicking ultimately is from what? Lack of experience, lack of confidence, and lack of understanding of what your probabilities are. Because in your mind, if you know you do this and your stop is that, you're not going to panic. Like, if I know how much I can lose and I'm willing to lose, there's no panic in that. Learning to trust that is the hard part. It's kind of like being a quarterback and learning to throw the ball away and knowing that you'll come back on the next series. But if you throw an interception, you lose the game, you're screwed. That is really hard to learn if you're newer, because again, losing on a trade is admitting defeat. Well, let's be real. The best traders in the world win at an 80 to 90% clip. I think I win in somewhere at 85% clip. What is the hardest part? It's the 15% losses. I'm telling you, that's the hardest part. It's not the winning. It's how you handle losses. Do you let one loss turn into another loss into another loss? Do you panic and then react by panicking again and buying? Like, you get stopped out and you get right back in. Or you do something wrong and you just go, well, I got to do something, make it up. All right. Great question, man. Because again, this is the part nobody's ever going to teach you. And most people don't have the knowledge to teach it because why? They're new. There's a ton of social media, and I would consider them just lucky. You can throw a dart at stock tickers and be right in a bull market. Bear market's where the pros shine. I hope you guys recognize that. This is where we make money way quicker than a bull market. Whatever. You will make years worth of income in months in a bear market if you trade it correctly. All right, I'm going to roll on that. Great questions. Again, if you're not a part of the Discord room, please stop by. There's a unlimited amount of content. I'm literally trying to give you guys everything I can. Because again, I don't want you to ever feel like you don't have an answer. Because that creates panic. I've been there. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You don't want to be there. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.